Hello there, great person, and welcome to this spoiler-free review of the new Dune movie. So I had a day to digest it, which was quite good because I needed that day, and I found myself wandering back to the movie during said day again and again. So, yeah. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Did I love it? Yes, I did. So for me, it was a very, very good movie, and I'm often quite critical of movies. Like with *Malignant*, I really didn't like it that much. My review of that is recorded. It will be out when this Dune stuff is a bit settled down. Yeah, but normally I'm quite critical with movies, but with this one, I absolutely loved it, every second of it, and you should watch it. And you should watch it twice. And if you read the book or not, I don't know if you did. Yeah, watch it twice because you will probably need that. You will, as I said in the first impressions, I've thought about it again. You will need two viewings at least because the first time will give you the impression that you need to see it again because you might have missed something, and also because it's actually quite yeah, an incredibly beautiful movie. So let's talk about some stuff about the movie first, and this is the most important thing I want to say, and my biggest advice if you plan on seeing this, you should be you should have slept before the movie and you should have rested before the movie. It is the densest movie I've ever seen. Perhaps it's a bit more dense than Inception, but not as complicated. But by dense, I mean, yeah, as my good friend Toby put it, shoutouts to you again. Yeah, he saw the movie with me and he said, I had to wait for a moment to grab my popcorn because I was so focused on the screen. I was the same. I did not take my eyes off the screen once. I couldn't grab my popcorn. My wife handed me the Coke. Um, so yeah, because it was, you just couldn't look away from it for what was it, 2 hours, 40 minutes. It's just so it's taking you in. But afterwards, I was really really exhausted, and you might have seen that in my review, my first impressions video. I was very exhausted, and I slept before the movie, and I was still exhausted, but it's in a very positive way. You just taken in so much information that was so great, and you want to think about it, but it is, yeah, you have to pay attention. You don't even need to have to pay attention, but you want to. It's like you want to pay attention to every little detail, even the landscape shots, which were beautiful, absolutely amazing. You will, yeah. So that's my advice. If you see this, want to see this, please don't go in there sleepy, or I don't know, or if you get exhausted in movies. I mean, it might happen that you get so exhausted that you sleep and then just watch it again. I mean, it's not that it's not a problem. I can understand that I almost slept after the movie immediately because it took a toll, but a very very lovely toll. Um, so the story, what's the story about? Let's just do this first. So the story is about a boy and a family who get a planet gifted from the emperor, and the previous owners of the planet, the previous stewards of that planet are driven off by the emperor, by his decree, not with force, by his decree, and they leave, and then these people come in, and the protagonist is a boy with the new owners of the planet, and yeah, these two owners, these two clans, houses, there are two houses. The one that's leaving, the one that's coming, they don't like each other. They are enemies, and yeah, so there will be political tension because of that and other stuff. Yeah, because on this planet there's a lot of sand, and there's a substance called spice, which drives space travel, prolongs life, and yeah, it's a very valuable resource. And the planet is basically just the harvesting ground for the empire. So everyone who controls that planet has to give this spice to everyone else because the emperor wants it. So yeah, that's what the families are there to do. And yeah, on the planet there are native people called the Fremen, and they don't like outsiders. And yeah, I will tell you no more than that because that's all you need to know for the movie, and that's probably in every description for the movie. You should know that. You should know that. If you read the books, you know that already. If you don't read the, if you have not read the books, this is what you will get into. So family, they have another or a clan, uh, a house. They have their enemies. The enemies had left the planet. They went to the planet, and yeah. So that's the story. Um, and the story is dense. It is not shoved in your face. In no way. There are explanations, like they tell you stuff like the spice thing I just told you. That's told in the movie with pictures to show it, and it's quite lovely. And yeah, that's what this is mostly about. It's show don't tell, and I think that's also why it's so exhausting, because they show you so much. You can read so much from the pictures. And if you have seen the 1984 version of Dune, they told you everything. At least the crappy version I watched, which I'm so sorry, guys, it was the wrong version probably. But yeah, they told you everything. And this one, no, no. You have to pay attention. You have to look at the screen. You have to see the things. And yeah. So yeah, let's continue with that for the book readers. I have criticized the 1984 version for these thoughts they have all the time. And I said in the review, I hope they don't do that here. I hope they, if you know the book, you get more from the situation because you know what they are thinking. But if you don't read the book, you understand the situation because of the acting, the setting, and everything. So it's for everyone, you know. And that's the way it was, almost in every scene, and I loved it. It was exceptionally well done. Um, yeah. So the visuals, incredible effects. There were some great creatures there in the movie. They were great. Absolutely loved them. Um, the spaceships, the warfare that we might have seen, the technology from a physics point, it looked so good. There were all those details in the effects that was amazing to see. There was some particle. Yeah, let's put it there. I'm just trying not to spoil anything. There are particle effects that are beyond belief. They are so good. I love them. Several times there are different particle effects, but the particle effects, they are so incredibly good. So incredibly good. Characters and the acting. Was the acting good? Yes, it was. The acting was amazing. Everyone nailed it. Everyone nailed everything. Absolutely baffling how they managed that. And yeah, I was given this question, I think, from Rob. Let me look it up. Yeah, it was from Rob. It's a question you put for the spoiler review, but I will answer it here because it's not a spoiler. I will also answer it again in more detail there, but yeah. Whose acting was the best? Who stole the show? You asked me that. Everyone's acting was absolutely great. And there was a scene in my mind. So I will tell you about this scene because it was a special scene. I will tell you more in the spoiler review. And in that scene, there was acting. And let me tell you this, I don't say this lightly. I think I've never really said it with conviction, but this time I say it with conviction. If for that acting there is no Oscar, we know the Oscars, how they are currently, but I have not seen a performance like in that scene in many years, and it's from Timothy. I hope he gets an Oscar for one. I was so smitten by that. I mean, he nailed everything, but in that scene, if he doesn't get an Oscar, I will be so incredibly mad because I've not. It was perhaps it was just because I loved the scene so much, and I will not tell you which scene it is. I will tell you that in the spoiler review. But man, that scene, Jesus effing Christ, that scene. I was so I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the scene how they did it. It's in the book. I will tell you that. I could not believe how they did that scene. I think, and yeah, what was my favorite scene? I will answer that here. That is probably my favorite scene I've seen in the movie ever. I have never had this in the cinema where I saw a scene. I almost had it with more scenes here even, but there was one scene. I couldn't believe that scene, how good it was, how great it was. Timothy nailed it. I was just, and it, in all fairness, it might have been because of the books as well. I don't know if I was, but for me, that that scene, I would have only needed to see that scene and I would have given the movie a 10. That's that good. Jesus, that scene. Holy freaking Christ. Yeah, so but everyone's acting. The the um the Baron Harkonnen, so the enemy Baron general from the enemy house, so to speak, his acting was great. He was so scary. He was he was more nasty and evil than I imagined him. He was so nasty, so imposing. It was so well done. And in his shots, the lighting, and how the scenes played out with him, it was so eerie. And if I remember the stupid balloon man that floated around a pillar singing and crying stupid stuff. And I got really mad at that in the 1984 version. Wow. I can now watch the 1984 version and I will look at that as a parody now. And I know it is a movie that there are very good parts in that movie as well. But compared to this one, it's like it's like a university project against I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Denny. I'm on. Yeah, yeah. So, um, other people. Everyone nailed it. Everyone gave their interpretation. Um, yeah. So next, what did I want to talk about next? Yeah, the music. Let's do that. The music. The music was beautiful. It was yeah. That was also a question. Yeah, I would answer that as I will scratch the surface here as well. I will do more in the in-depth spoiler review. So Rob asks, is Hans Zimmer's music obnoxiously loud and blasting brrs, or does he let silence ensue in scenes with raw dialogue and acting? Yes, to the second part. So there are scenes um, where it's very loud, but there's no brr. Um, that so yeah, but the sound was very calm and beautiful. And I mean, you've heard the soundtrack. It's about, in the soundtrack there's this mix, and perhaps you've seen my reaction to it. There's this mix between this desert theme and the Scottish bagpipes, and then there are some tracks, I mean, that are really bam, and they need to be, and they are in scenes where they need to be, and those scenes are the best in the movie for me, even though every scene was great, but there were several scenes. I think, let me think, how many scenes were there that I couldn't that were exceptional, absolutely exceptional and astonishing. One, two, three. Yeah, three, four. four scenes, and of those four, three had no, two had loud music, two had not loud music. I will just say that. And yeah, the music is sometimes very yes, let's go. Sometimes it's the desert mystery. Sometimes it's the eerie alien tune. Ooh, what's this? And sometimes it's a bit aggressive. Sometimes it feels like it's from beyond time. And yeah, I absolutely love the music. So there was one bad no, not one bad thing. One thing, it wasn't bad. It just threw me off because it didn't fit the rest. It was just one director's choice in a scene, and it's not the trailer scene that I didn't like. I liked that scene. It fit. It was a bit okay, but I understood why they did it. It worked. It worked in the movie. But that the other scene, it's nowhere in the trailers, and it's nothing. It's nothing special. It is not a special scene. It's just a normal scene, but there is something that I didn't like, and yeah, yeah. Okay, perhaps you might wonder that too. So this is also not really spoilerish. It will be I will now say how I think dialogue and scenes how much of the book is in the movie from the first part of the book. So I will now say the number of because I don't want to spoil for people who don't want to know. So my estimate is that about 85% of the movie are absolutely like the book, one to one, and with that I include not letting out scenes, adding scenes, and slightly changing the scenes. So about 85% are exactly like the book, almost in the visuals, in the dialogue. I mean, they had to shorten it. They had to shorten some dialogue, but it would have been too long. And yeah, by the way, I hope there's this 5 hour cut. Yeah, there were one or two little bits cut. I think I noticed that because of things I know from the books and other things. I will talk about that later in the other review. Yeah, sorry that I say that all the time. It's just I can't tell you that. Um, so it's about 85%, 85%, and the choices they make where they differ, for me, they all fit. They all fit. And it was in many parts, and perhaps even in every part. I would have to watch it again, but I think it is mostly the reason show don't tell why they do it. That's their main reason, and I think that's almost always a good choice. And here I felt it was a good choice everywhere. And one scene is a bit changed to set something up. No, not tease it. Tease it. It's also in the movie, but yeah. Yeah. So that's my review. My spoiler-free review. Just done it here. Yeah. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please do not put them under this video. Put them under this video. I will link here. And yeah, so yeah, final verdict. I give this movie 5 of 5 ghosts. 5 of 5 ghosts. For everything. For everything. And I would have not had a movie except for perhaps Inception where I would have done that. I've thought about it now for a day, and I think it might be my favorite movie of all time. But I would have to rewatch some of my other favorites again. It might just be because I have not seen my favorites for a long time because I was very busy studying and doing research and teaching. So, yeah, that's it. See you perhaps in the spoiler review, which will be really, really long. I don't know how long it will be. I'm afraid it might be 2 hours. It might not be. It might be quicker than I thought. But yeah. So that was it. If you like this, consider liking, subscribing. Helps a bit. We're now 112 people here in this little community, in this little siege. And yeah. So thanks to all your support. Thanks to all of you for your support. And yeah. I'm sorry for those who can't watch it, but it's worth the wait. Just wait. Just wait. Don't spoil yourself. And don't watch my spoiler review. I mean, what I will mainly do is say what was in the movie from the book and what was not. That's gonna be a main part of it. A main part of it. So, yeah. See you around. Have a happy sandy day and praised be the maker. Bye.